It's the Mariners postgame podcast. David Sugarman alongside Austin Rooney just wrapped up the call on what was the Mariners' 9th straight loss, and this one was in heartbreaking fashion here at Eldridge Park against the Orleans Firebirds. The Mariners, who at one point led 6-3, ended up falling by a final of 8-6 in extra innings. The bat of Cesar Salazar, which had a home run back on Sunday evening against the Mariners back at White House Field, a 2-run walk-off in the bottom of the 11th to take it by a final of 8-6. Austin, the Mariners had their chances, had runners in scoring position through the first couple extra innings, but were unable to bring the go-ahead run home.
That's right. And then in the 11th inning, of course, Hansen, he just leaves a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and Cesar Salazar, his home run there, to be able to hit the ball opposite field like that was really incredible. But just going back a couple innings before that, in the 10th inning, the Mariners have India on second base with one out. They're unable to bring him home. Then it's Brad Devo who hits a one-out double in the top of the 11th inning. They're unable to bring him in. He ended up being stranded on third base. So the Mariners had their opportunity in extra innings to try to get a run on the board. They just were not able to do so. They couldn't drive in the runs yet again.
And offensively, the Mariners were better tonight. They put up 6 runs after being shut out against the same Firebirds team on Sunday, and they had that big 6th inning where they were trailing 3-2. All of a sudden, were up 6-3. They had the big 3 RBI double out of Brad Devo, which extended the lead, but unfortunately unable to hold on. The offense, though, was certainly a bright spot tonight.
The offense was terrific tonight. I mean, they were able to score a couple runs in the first inning, and they scored 4 more runs in the 6th inning. If I could say one thing I'd like the offense to work on, I would say it's consistency. So instead of just scoring in 2 innings over the course of an 11-inning game, maybe they can score in 4 or 5 innings as opposed to just scoring twice. That kind of makes it tough to win, although they were pretty big innings for the Harwich Mariners. Again, it's nice to see a lot of bats throughout this order really come through. There are a couple hits from India, a couple hits from Smith, 2 hits from Devo as well. McCarthy gets his first hit as a Mariner, and Moritz had a key RBI hit in the game as well. So the bats, I think, are there to an extent, but again, they're just going to have to do more if they're looking to win these games. In addition, though, out of all the more recent games we've seen, I think this has been one of the more complete games we've seen from the Harwich Mariners. Well, the pitching was a little bit up and down. There were definitely a lot of bright spots to the pitching as well. Agnew struggled a bit in relief, but he really fought through this entire game. He didn't have his best stuff and really worked hard. And it was, again, an okay or decent performance by the pitching staff, and the hitting was really solid tonight for the Harwich Mariners. So in terms of playing that complete game I've been talking about, they did a better job of that tonight.
Unfortunately, the complete game doesn't lead to a win. It's now 9 losses in a row. They've really piled up on the Mariners really the whole season, but as of late now, 10-25-1. I mean, it's tough. We just talked about how this is one of their better performances as of late, and they're still not able to do it. They're playing the hottest team in the league tomorrow against YD, who's won 9 in a row. I mean, how can the Mariners, turn it around and put a few more wins on the schedule with just a few more games to go before the end of the season?
I think it has to come back down to the pitching again and the hitting. Again, it's about playing this complete game that I've been talking about. And while they did a good job of it tonight, I think that the real spot that kept it from being that perfect game the Mariners needed to play today to win was the pitching. It just wasn't quite good enough. It was okay and it was good in spots, but it has to be better throughout. So they have to get a really strong starting performance tomorrow night, possibly 6 or 7 innings, and maybe allowing only 1 run or something like that. And if the hitting can continue to be there, then this Harwich Mariners team can really be able to get that win they've been looking for. But again, it has to be a game from the entire team. It can't just be the hitting goes well. It can't just be, they pitched well. It has to be a combination. The bullpen has to be good as well tomorrow, and that's key.
One last time from Eldridge Park, the final: Orleans 8, Harwich 6. The Mariners dropped their 9th game in a row, fall to 10-25-1 on the season. Back on the call tomorrow night at Yarmouth Dennis for a 5 o'clock first pitch. Until then, for Austin Rooney, I'm David Sugarman saying so long.